A very good Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather or not forecast, courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. Let's jump right into it, folks. We got some ongoing activity with showers and storms that have kicked off this morning. We can see that overlooking the latest radar. Got a strong cell there that's trekking just east of Barron County and Allen County this morning. Good news is staying out of our hair for now, but you can look off to the north and west, and we got more rounds of showers and storms. It's going to be working through here throughout today, but especially this evening and on into the overnight. Now, there could be the potential for some strong and severe storms coming along with this, so we need to stay weather aware as we work and progress throughout today. Taking a look over the Sexton Beam Builder Sky Cam down in Gold City to kick things off. We can see the cloud tops there of the storm looking east from Gold City this morning that we were just looking at there on radar. We had stars shining bright otherwise, folks. We're going to be underneath a mix of sun and clouds outside of the rain and storm chances. We can jog up here to the north, take a look over the Lovers Lane Soccer Complex and the Loops Trails in Bowling Green. Got some wispy cloud cover, that cloud debris coming off of that activity that we were just monitoring and taking a look at. Jumping over here and looking at the current conditions, got readings in the temperature and dew point department right around the upper 50s. We'll be bumping highs right back up to around the low and mid 80s as we work into this afternoon. Now, taking a look here at the latest surface map, you can see where they've got the outlined yellow area there, cutting right through the heart of the central area of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That is where the severe weather risk is today. But take a look at the surface low located just to our north and west, all right? The parent upper level low is located just north of that surface low, right along the confluence of Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. That surface low is going to track eastward throughout the day, helping to push those rounds of showers and storms right through the region, impacting us here in the Wobbles community. Now, we've been talking about the upper level pattern over the past several days. It's not changed. We reworked this up for you here this morning. The upper level low will bring strong severe storm threat today and into the overnight. There will also be a flooding threat coming along with that. We'll get to that here in just a moment. But folks, after this upper low gets out of here by late tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at this upper level ridge building in behind that weather maker. And that's really going to bring a prolonged period of sunny, quiet weather Friday all the way through the weekend and into the early days of next week. But with that being said, folks, our focus is on today and into tonight, all right? So take this with a grain of salt, folks. This is the HRRR short-term model. You will note it's picking up on the activity that we're seeing that was popping up there on the radar. It likes to get a few more cells going here over the course of the next hour or two. That's going to be tracking off to the east, and you will note, folks, as we approach midday on into lunchtime, that activity tries to pull off to our north and off to our east, leaving us with a period of quiet weather. However, as we progress throughout the afternoon, and especially on into this evening, we see the redevelopment and reorganization of robust cells that get going with the next wave that'll be trucking through here. Here we are working this evening on into the overnight hours, and you can see here the cells off to our north and west really get going. But now, folks, take a look at the band of the activity that is stretching almost in an east to west orientation. This is what could lead to prolonged periods of moderate to heavy rain for particular locations that could result in training and flooding concerns across the region. You'll note here as we continue throughout the overnight, there's just repetitive rounds that keep lining out and regenerating over western Kentucky and southern Illinois and tracking east right through the heart of the Wobbles community. So along with the severe weather risk of damaging winds and large hail, maybe an isolated tornado, we will be having the flash flooding concerns here across the region. Would not be surprised in the least this evening throughout the overnight to see some aerial flood advisories or even some flood warnings put out across the region. The good news is, as we progress throughout the latter part of our Thursday, here we are getting into Thursday afternoon, on into Thursday night, the bulk of the activity should be out of here. and then finally pulling off to the north and east as we work into the pre-dawn hours of our Friday. This is where that upper level ridge is going to be building in from the west, bringing sunshine back and shutting off that moisture as we progress throughout our Friday, and sets us up for an absolutely immaculate weekend to follow, all right? Here's a look at the latest from the local National Weather Service office. Folks, we are under a 2 out of 5 risk on the severe weather risk scale, all right? As previously mentioned, we could be looking at numerous rounds of showers and storms. Not everybody is going to get in on the rainfall today, but we will be watching for later this evening into the overnight for the better opportunity for the wet stuff to occur in here, all right? So the timing of this with the instability that'll be present in our atmosphere will be from roughly mid-afternoon around the 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. time frame and lasting all the way through the overnight hours tonight, all right? Damaging winds and hail are amongst the highest concerns along with flooding. It is still present, but a much lower in threat for that isolated tornado spin up to occur, all right? Here's a look at the latest from the Weather Prediction Center. Another thing, folks, to take with a grain of salt. It's showing anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch of total rainfall. If that training occurs, like what we were just looking at on the short-term model guidance, we're going to have locations across the Wobbles region that will get in on higher rainfall totals than what is currently being shown here, okay? If we get the training that sets up, some of us might see excessive amounts, upwards of 2 to 3 inches. That's just the nature of the behavior of the mesoscale or smaller interactions that we get these little bands of showers and storms tracking over similar locations, all right? Want to jog out to the Atlantic real quick. We do have Tropical Storm Felipe that is trekking west towards the U.S. We're going to be watching this closely. The National Hurricane Center has it arriving there in the Dominican Republic as we get into the latter part of this weekend, into the early days of next week, along with Puerto Rico. But it does have it weakening down to a tropical depression strength. We will need to keep eyes on it as it could get its act together again if it continues that westward track and gets into some open, warm bodies of water there out in the Gulf of Mexico or over the Atlantic. Getting back closer to home, taking a look at your next 5-day weather forecast for today. Scattered shower and storm chances. Not everyone is going to get wet. That's just the way it is. However, late this afternoon and throughout tonight, we got a much better opportunity of seeing that. Mid-80s for highs this afternoon. With more cloud cover, continued rounds of showers and storms throughout our Thursday. It will be much cooler with highs down between the upper 70s to lower 80s. And then, folks, take a look from Friday on. All the way through the weekend, although you can't see it, all the way through the middle part of next week, we've got nothing but sunshine, highs in the lower 80s, along with comfortable humidity. Nothing worth complaining about, that is for sure. Folks, that's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning Weather Not Bowling Green forecast, brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Stay weather aware. With a severe weather threat today, we will be updating as necessary.